Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Swiderick again, and this time I'm with my little friend, Mr. Buddy. Hi, boys and girls. I'm going to help you today. Okay, I've got my camera, or I should say the computer, very close to the board today because I want you to be able to see all the diagrams very carefully that we're talking about in 5th grade Geometry Review Part 2. Today we're going to be talking about polygons, okay? Let's remember that a polygon is a closed figure formed by straight lines, and that's underlined because that's very important. Anything with curves like a circle, an oval, that is not a polygon. Remember, that is very important. Curves are not parts of polygons. Polygons are made of straight lines, okay? Now, whenever you see the word regular in front of the word polygon, that means they have equal sides, okay? For example, a square is a regular polygon, and my little tick marks, those little lines, denote that even if I'm not the best artist, those are 4 equal sides of square, okay? Now, there are other quadrilaterals. Quadrilateral means 4-sided polygon, okay? For example, a rectangle. Now, would that be regular? No, because not all the sides are equal. A rectangle has square corners, as a square does, 90-degree corners, but the opposite sides are parallel. Top and bottom are parallel to each other, and the right and left side are parallel to each other. That's a characteristic of a rectangle. Okay, now really a square is a rectangle, isn't it? But a rectangle isn't a square. Now there's another quadrilateral called a trapezoid. Okay, doesn't have equal sides. It has one pair of parallel sides. You see how they're kind of going off? Top and bottom are parallel to each other. That's also a quadrilateral. It's not regular, is it? Because the sides aren't equal. So quadrilaterals are one category of polygons, 4-sided figures. Okay, now let's look at triangles. Okay, triangles are very interesting. They are 3-sided figures, right? And they can be named by their sides or their angles. Now let's look at an equilateral triangle. That means all sides are equal. You can tell by my little tick marks, right? Then there's another kind of triangle called an isosceles triangle. If you were to turn it upside down, it would look like an icicle. That's how I remember what isosceles is. 2 sides are equal, okay? And the last one, no sides are equal, that's called scalene. So that's how we name or classify triangles, by their sides. Then we can classify triangles by their angles. Back to an acute triangle. This happens to also be equilateral, like this one. All sides in an equilateral triangle would also be the same, okay? And in an obtuse angle, if you'll notice here, all it takes is one fat, big, obtuse angle to make it become an obtuse triangle. And all you need is one right angle right here inside a triangle to make that a right triangle. So it's like triangles have first and last names. First name could be its description by its side, and the second name would be its description by its angles, okay? Now, there's a couple other things to remember about triangles. Besides that they are classified by sides and angles, the interior or inside angles of any triangle always equals 180 degrees. If we go back to this equilateral triangle right here, and if I were to put my protractor over it, I would see that each of those openings is 60 degrees. And what's 60 times 3? But 180. If I put my protractor and measured these angles, I would find out that this obtuse angle here is 120. And these little angles on the sides are both 30. What's 120 and 30 and another 30? But 180 degrees. In this one, if I put my protractor and measured this angle, I would find this is 90 degrees. And if I measured these two angles, I would find they're each 45. 90 and 45 and 45 make 180 degrees. The inside or interior angle measurement is always 180 degrees. Okay, now there are other rectangles or other polygons too. This is a pentagon. There's a famous building in Washington, D.C. called the Pentagon. It has this shape, 5 equal sides in length. Then there's a hexagon. That's a 6-sided figure. Notice my tick marks indicate it's a regular polygon because the sides are the same. Then there's an octagon, which we see often as a stop sign. That's 8 equal sides. And then there's a decagon. Think of the word decade meaning 10. Well, guess what? A decagon has 10 equal sides. Notice the more sides you have, the closer it gets to look like a circle, doesn't it? Okay? Now there's other polygons that are not regular. For example, here's another 5-sided figure. Kind of looks like a house. That's a pentagon, but it's not regular. Here's another hexagon. It's 6-sided, but each side isn't the same. So that's a irregular polygon, not regular polygon. And look at this strange figure. If you counted each side, you'd find 12 of them. It's a closed, plain figure, so it is a polygon, but it's a decagon, and it's not a regular polygon. Okay, I hope that gives you a little more insight, nice review of polygons and things that are not polygons. And if you understand this, I think you'll do very well on your test coming up soon. Okay, Mr. Buddy, say goodbye for now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice week.
Have a nice week.
So long for now, boys and girls.